Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Watch Your Lips, joined by Jeff Cox, Kevin Burns. To my left here is Caleb Bravo again, and we are joined by another guest.
Special guest,
2 in a row for everybody. Sanger High alumni, yes, Fresno State Bulldog alumni, and last season, his rookie season spent with the Carolina Panthers, Arron Mosby.
How y'all doing? Hello.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming, buddy.
Yeah. Now, for those asking why Caleb's just showing up the last two, you are the connection. You've been the one to hook us up with these guys. We appreciate it. We appreciate you giving us time. But you coached both of these guys, correct?
Yes, and I coached them in basketball. We trained a little bit in football. That was when we started training because he didn't know if he was going to be a wide receiver or DB, and that's what we were like working on both and everything. And tell him what happened when we did the one-on-ones when you were a receiver and I was DB on the press.
Gosh, here we go.
What happened?
I don't really remember what he's talking about. But
he does.
Yeah, right. You know.
Hey, I'm just looking at both of you, and you don't have to say
you probably
no.
lost.
No,
No,
I
we'll
really,
just
you were at DB and I was at receiver?
Remember we did a press? You know how to break a press at first?
I don't remember this.
Oh.
Where were we at?
At Sanger High. Next to the tennis courts of the grass. And Jim was throwing.
What time of day was it? Where was the sun at? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then you go.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know what he's talking
Caleb brings up, hey, remember when we were 12? And like, no, bro, we don't remember that.
Yeah.
We remember beating them.
And you throw me a curveball? Yeah, whatever.
If you're listening, Jeff, where can people follow the podcast?
Follow us at @WatchYour_Lips on Twitter and Instagram, @WatchYourLips on TikTok. And where can they follow you, Mosby?
On Twitter, I was at TakeFlightMo, TAK3 Flight, and then Mo. And then Instagram is Take Flight. It's the same thing.
I love the Twitter.
TAKE. Oh, no, TAK3F or Flight Mo. And then that's all I got.
Cool.
TikTok,
we'll put it here.
TikTok
Merch coming out soon. Merch. Get it.
And we'll be tagging him. We'll be tagging him.
We'll tag everything in there.
Follow Mosby.
If you're listening, there it is.
Nice.
I like
Creation.
We got to get some of that. If you're listening, head on over to YouTube, hit subscribe. If you're watching, please subscribe. We'd appreciate it. There's a lot to talk about. Today is Monday. Tonight is the NC2A Basketball National Championship game. San Diego State and UConn. We asked Jalen last week if he filled out a bracket. He did. It busted. Did you get a bracket?
I did fill out a bracket. I had UCLA winning it all. It kind of fell short, I think, to Gonzaga. But for the game tonight, I got UConn winning.
No doubt.
Jeff, where are you rolling?
I called UConn a couple of weeks ago.
I mean, we talked this morning. They kind of really haven't had any trouble getting through the tournament, let's be honest.
Oh, they've steamrolled everybody.
Who they beat by 20? Was it Gonzaga?
They beat almost everyone by 10 plus.
Yeah, they've had.
Have they came out of nowhere? Because I've not heard a word out of them.
They're a top 10.
They're 4 seed. Yeah.
They kind of stayed closer to the top 10, right? Like 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
They stayed in there the rest of the season, the whole season, right?
Yes.
But they're ran by Hurley. So, I mean, Arizona State's going to be back too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good team. It's a very, very good team. Their offense against San Diego State's defense is going to be exciting.
And guess where they came from? Duke.
Burnsy, who you got? Do you care?
The Aztecs. I'm going San Diego local.
I'm going San Diego State
reason
as well.
Except
just because
we're Dogs fans here.
I was going to say that. I can't go for
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
Hey, but
welcome back, Burns.
It will help.
Welcome
with
back.
the
But
Mountain West.
don't they split the pot
Yes.
of dough?
It helps. It helps the Mountain West.
So I'm just saying.
But no.
That's why I'm. That's why I'm doing it for a man
good.
of the people.
Yeah,
that's why.
Caleb, you got a pick? You got a dog in this fight?
Yeah, dude. Duke.
Whoa, Burnsy.
Every single
Everything
bracket
is Duke.
I've been fan since I was in 3rd grade, and everyone said, "Oh, you're fair with." No, in my 4th grade elementary picture, I have a Duke hat on with my football jersey, and my mom was pissed. For school photos, I had that Duke hat on, and every single year, every time bracket, I always pick Duke. So I've been right 4 times.
Does your mom not like North Carolina? Is that why she was mad?
No, she's like, "You covering your hair?" It's typical mom stuff.
Well, hey, speaking of that, you're in North Carolina. You're by Charlotte, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have
Live
you
in
been
Charlotte,
to Chapel Hill? Have you been to the Duke?
I haven't been
Tar Heel
to a
game yet?
basketball game. No, we had one on break
Okay.
when basketball started January, so I missed it. But I have been to a Duke football game. One of my teammates played against Duke at the football stadium, so I went to that.
I've heard. So my partner in business, he just went to Chapel Hill and he went to North Carolina Duke, and he said that basketball environment is the best thing he's ever seen.
Dude, he's loaded.
And he's been to some legit events, and he
Yeah.
said it's just crazy.
The
He's like,
tickets.
even just a regular
I was just going to
season
say that.
game.
The tickets by itself is
Dude, it is
like an NBA game.
I've always wanted to be that, and we've tried so many years in a row. Tickets for nosebleeds is like $1,200, $2,000 just for that game. North Carolina Duke, it's crazy. So I went when Gonzaga played Duke in Vegas, when Chet was playing, and that's when Duke won.
Nobody cares.
All right. All right. Enough about
One of the
Duke.
best college games. Go Duke.
So Mosby, you brought up
Mosby's
food,
here.
and you're from Sanger. You've obviously eaten at Velasco's?
I have. Actually, I probably haven't ate there. I think I got a to-go order before.
Okay.
I can't remember. It was probably like sophomore year in high school.
And you've eaten at Velasco's?
I ate Velasco's. Yeah,
Okay.
before it burnt down.
That's next to the.
They-
That's next to the barbershop, right? Or it used to be next
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
the
it's like
smoke
right
shop.
on that main
That's
street.
the sister
right
to Castillo's, which was one of my favorite restaurants in Fresno,
Yeah.
Mexican restaurant. But
For some reason, this guy knows all these food spots. I've known him my whole life.
Your podcast.
oh, dude, I love food.
Oh yeah, he's good at it.
Yeah, I love food.
Mediterranean grill.
But I was going to ask you, how's the Mexican food in Carolina?
Terrible.
It doesn't add
I won't
up.
say terrible. It's
You can
just
say
it's not. How would you say authentic as you come towards Cali or West Coast? You get closer to the East Coast, it's more. I don't even know how you even explain.
It's more
it.
commercial. It's more like
It's-
corporate commercial
Yeah,
Mexican food.
it's kind of like
Tex-Mex,
Chipotle,
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
What was the tweet you saw on his Twitter?
It was something about
I think I screenshot
in a
it.
burrito, refried beans
Oh,
or
yeah.
pinto.
Yeah. So, my opinion, I would say refried beans over pinto, and that's just because going to Sanger High, I feel like the refried beans just go better. But pinto beans, when you go towards the East Coast, that's all they got. So,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
See, I'm with you.
yeah, that was a little
Refried
debate
beans.
we had in our locker room and stuff
It's
like that.
refried beans.
It's the basically the same thing. But
Or it depends on what restaurant you use. You have to call it smash beans. They don't know refried beans. You have to say smash beans. A lot of
Smash
some
beans.
Smash
I've
beans.
never
Not in
heard that.
California.
restaurants.
We know what refried beans are.
But some. They have to say, you'd say, oh, refried beans.
Is that like
Oh,
Texas?
smash beans? Yeah, smash beans. It depends on.
So when we went to the spring training, they had the Tex-Mex style, and I'm
Yes.
just not a fan.
No.
Yeah, it's different.
Tex-Mex with stuff.
Yeah.
It's like the black beans,
Yeah.
Like,
corn, lots of corn.
Go ahead, let it out.
no, I would say, well, the black beans is more of like, if you want to be more healthier, I would go with black beans. Like I had that today, but me personally, if I wouldn't have to be healthy, refried all day.
All right, so if you had to go to Chipotle and you got two horrible choices of pinto and black beans, which one are you
I'm
going?
going with black beans.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Now, where would
Yeah.
you get Tex-Mex here?
I don't know.
Is there a restaurant?
I don't
thought
know.
There was like an
There-
actual.
And
Like,
when I went to
there used to
Houston,
be.
it was the same
Yeah.
thing in
Was
Houston.
it?
It was all Tex-Mex.
I think that
restaurants.
one on the border. It's
on
over-
that's
yeah, I think
that's
it.
okay. That's the
Yeah.
one.
It's not
That's-
good.
oh,
Their
it's terrible.
salsa is not good.
Oh,
But
it's
you guys get taken care of pretty good, I would imagine, right? Like
As in, like,
the
football team?
Yeah,
In Carolina?
yeah.
It's more of like, our catering is more of, I would say like steak, shrimp, like that kind of stuff. It's not really Mexican
Damn.
food. If you want like Mexican food, you gotta
Is
go get
it
yourself.
just do you guys get to put out like requests, or is it this is what you get?
No, that's our nutritionist. She does that by herself.
Really?
Yeah. So she does a great job. She'll do like, if we get like pizza or something, that'll be like on a Friday. But throughout the week, it's either steak, chicken, a lot of fish, stuff that's, that's healthy for us. Not really.
High protein.
Yeah. Not a lot of stuff.
Shout
that's
out.
A lot of fat in it. But yeah.
And
Shout out
do
to
they
high
tell
protein.
you,
lady.
Do they tell you what weight they want you at and everything?
That's so you do your weight right before the season. So like going through all the off season and all that camp, you don't have to worry about your weight. I mean, you have to worry about it, but like
Right.
you have it in your head, and then I want to say 2 weeks before season start, like everyone goes around like, what do you want your weight go? They give you a range between, I think it's like 5 pounds,
Okay.
and then if you're over that 5 pounds, you get a fine. If If you under that 5 pounds, you get a fine.
That's crazy.
How
much?
What's the fine?
Yeah.
Can you?
I want to say that. Well, okay, your first time being over, it's a warning. The second time, 1,700. The third time,
I'd run out of fucking money, bro. I wouldn't be able to pay that.
I'll be taking loans
How
out.
hard is it to maintain that 10-pound?
I wouldn't say it's hard. Like, so you go off what you think. So like, say if my body weight, what I had this last season was 248 to 253. So going through camp already, you running all day, so you're losing weight regardless. So once you get into season, it's not that hard to maintain the weight. The hardest part is not going under the weight.
Right,
because
that's what I would think.
You burn a lot of sweat and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I wouldn't say it's hard. It's just more of like if you're a bigger guy, you got to do a little extra more, but it's not that bad.
Okay.
Most of the time, it's on what you're comfortable. So you shouldn't
Right.
do something that you're not comfortable with. Like if you're 250 and you say only be 239,
Right.
now that's on you.
Yeah.
So does it
that
go up
decision.
in tiers? So you had 1,700 for the
So
first time. What happened? Like a second offense
time,
is higher?
I think it's 3,500, and then it just keep going 35.
I'm telling you, bro. They'd cut my ass.
I mean,
There's
for
no
the
way.
for the sock, for wearing,
Game
not
day.
partial. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much isn't it like $5,000 or something like that if you wear the wrong socks?
So you can't wear the wrong socks.
Well, like
so you
in a
get
different way.
You get team socks that you're mandatory to wear before the game. If you don't wear it, I believe it's $27.50. The second time, it just keeps going up. The more you get, like the fine through the NFL is different than your team fine. Like a team fine, it says that like the minimum or whatever it is. The NFL fines are different. Once you get one, they just start adding up, and then So like for black visors, I want to say the first time is like 1,500. The second time is like 35, and then it can get all the way up to like 20.
And they can accumulate. Like you can do like a visor fine, a sock fine.
No, that's all,
A
yeah,
glove fine.
definitely.
It's all this. No matter how much.
So
you
it's
do,
not.
Oh,
You get one fine for each violation, or like if you got the sock and the visor, it's
it just keeps. That's what I mean. Like.
I mean,
two
they
socks,
just added up.
Two visors. Yeah.
Well, if you do a
They just keep
sock
on
one
going.
week and then a visor the next week, is it?
It's the
how
same
much
saying
double.
if you
No,
if
so
you wore this-
yeah. So
Yeah.
it's gonna accumulate. I mean,
Yeah.
accumulate to keep going and keep going.
Yeah. No matter how many, no matter what kind of fine, it just keeps on going up and up. It's
I didn't know about the visors thing. I didn't.
That's
They
crazy.
just passed that this last season.
That's- Zeke-
That's on. I was gonna. Yeah, I was
Zeke
just
was
gonna
full
bring in
blacked
Zeke.
out.
Yeah, but sometimes like the guys
He doesn't
that got
care.
it,
I think it looks. I like that though. I've always
It's just
liked
like
the
10
blacked
grand.
out.
they just changed that though after this
Okay.
beginning of this last season. They just changed
Okay.
it.
But they never tell you why.
Yeah. What's
Why
the
black
reason?
visors are
Well,
banned, right?
they said some what is it called? Referees couldn't tell like, and then the DeMar Hamlin situation happened, which made it even more of a thing because like you can't see their eyes
Right.
and things like that. But
So it's a safety.
yeah, it's a safety
Safety
hazard. But you
thing.
can get it. You can get it uplifted if you go to your doctors and tell them. That's what a lot of people do.
Oh, like high school.
Yeah,
Like
basically,
just
it's just
yeah,
like
yeah,
high
yeah.
school. You could go tell her like, "Oh, I need this for my visor."
Yeah.
and then they could just say, "Okay."
And I thought it was always like when Michael Vick wore it, they tried to have him not wear it because it was an advantage to him because the DBs and everybody couldn't see his eyes.
Who
kind of
cares?
thing. But that's what I'm saying.
Nah,
They
it's
tried to
safety
get
hazard.
everything they could on Michael Vick because
I
they
kind
couldn't
of
stop
have
him.
a question for both of you. And we brought in Jalen, last week, but those that aren't from the Valley that listen to us, what is it about Sanger football that, I mean, is it the coaching from the youth levels? How involved is that? I mean, because we see a bunch of athletes come out of Sanger, especially on the football side.
For a quote unquote kind of small.
I mean,
It's not a small school. The
Yeah.
enrollment's pretty big, right? But I mean,
But for us, it's a small town,
Yeah.
right? I mean, and we're bringing prospects out like yourself.
football's
and-
been dominant for a long time there.
Yeah, exactly. What do you guys attest to that?
It's pretty different because it's like a generational thing. Yeah, I'm 40, whatever. But
Yeah, so am I.
it is different because
We all grew up together, so
Okay.
Yeah.
so it started since the 70s and just being a part of that team, and we're always an underdog no matter what, and it's just pretty much what sets us apart is like Shadan. His thing was he wasn't, and a lot of kids and other coaches can say that, like he wasn't a very good positional coach, but man, he surrounded himself with good coaches, and anybody who played for him, they would do anything for him. He just made you feel like that. Like you can go into any football program environment, no matter what, and you had a chance. That's how he, made you feel during practices. And our summer program that's what set us apart. That's what we were able to keep up with all those big schools is because of our summer programs. Like, if you don't like it, bounce.
Does it start young though? Because I know like around here, some of the Clovis area kids, like their Pop Warner stuff, it's from 8, 9 years old all the way through high school.
Yeah.
So when did you start, Mosby? When did you get really involved in football? Real young or?
Involved in football or involved in Sanger football?
Both.
Involved in football, I started when I was 7. I started Pop Warner in Fresno. I played for Fresno High Pop Warner team. When I went to Sanger, I started at 7th grade.
Okay.
And I would just say, go back with your question. Sorry to cut you off. I would just say like the Sanger football is, I would say, yeah, like underdog mentality. You gotta have like that grit to be better than the next person. Like you're very overlooked. Supposedly it's a small town, but there's a lot of people, they're getting a lot of recognition now.
Oh yeah.
And I would just say like, I think people are starting to realize that you have those kids that's just, they just want to play. They want to play for the actual love for the game and not just want to do this and wear all these things. Like when Sanger, you can't even wear, I don't know if they changed it now, but when I was playing and probably when he was playing too, when Shadan was there, you couldn't wear a visor. You couldn't wear like things on your arms. You couldn't wear towels. You couldn't do none of that. It was just play like hard-nosed football. So that's what I like now. I think is just getting to where kids are saying that, you could wear all these accessories and look good, but at the end of the day, you got to play between those white lines. And
looking the part doesn't mean you can play the part.
So now it's starting to separate the gap.
Yeah.
So the gap is starting to get bigger and bigger. I don't know. I ain't been to a Sanger game in about 2 years, so I can't really, but I would speak for my behalf. When we was there, it was a big difference. So
especially in home games. Like
that too.
People want to play at Sanger just because, you're like 6 feet from the sideline.
Yeah.
And it's a giant bowl. So sound and everything, you have Sanger fans chirping because Sanger fans are on both sides. They're not just home side.
That's the crazy part too.
We take over. There's so many people of us that we take over the ends of the visitor side. So you have to fill that up before we do, kind of thing. You just have to. But being that close, a lot of schools they do get intimidated. They do.
I'm sure they don't like that.
They do.
Nowhere to sit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good. But there's no bad seat in the house. But yeah, it's just playing in that environment too.
You definitely get a college environment.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
you elevate your game just because you're playing at Sanger.
I remember going and watching Madera get stopped. Sanger when we were there.
Yeah.
You had a hand in that
sport.
Yeah, both hands.
And 2 feet. So why Fresno State? Did you were you recruited heavily out of high school, or was it did you want to stay home? Kind of tell us that.
So the whole process of going through the recruiting and things like that, I would say I wasn't recruited just because of not my play field on the field. It was more of like the grades behalf. And then as the time went on, I tried to get my grades right at the last second. You know how that?
Yeah.
Try to get it right last
push.
second. Yeah. So I would say like Fresno State they weren't the only one that gave me an opportunity, but they were the one that actually tried, put the whole foot forward. I want to say,
Was it Coach Tedford at the time?
I was just gonna say that.
Or was it DeRuiter?
DeRuiter. So I had forgot his name. DeRuiter was pushing for me, and then they all got fired that 1-11 season.
Yeah.
So then it was like he had offered me, and then they pulled it because Tedford had came in. And every time you get a new coach, they pull all the offers, and they got to look over the tape and everything like that. So then when Tedford came, he actually came to our playoff game. I want to say we were playing Dinuba. I think we played Dinuba, and he came to our game. And then like he had basically told me that offer was coming, but it wasn't coming yet. So then it finally came. I went on the official visit, and this is like 2 days before signing day. After he offered me, I had got like calls from Nevada, Sac State, San Jose, and UTEP. And I would just say I picked Fresno State just because Tedford like kind of came to me as more of like a daddish role more than just a coach. And I would say that's the same thing as like Coach Shadan, same thing with Coach Caleb. Like I feel like those kind of coaches are the better coaches that you need to go for because they're looking for more than just football. They're looking for your future and things like that. So that's why I kind of felt like it was home to me, and I was already from Fresno. So It made it even easier.
Yeah, it's easy to stay home.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And we heard the consistency with Tedford, with Jalen. He had a lot of the same things to say. That's great to hear from a fan's perspective because, that keeps guys like you here in the Valley. And we can come watch you and support the local talent.
Try to.
Yeah.
We've talked about the fair weatherness of Fresno sometimes. It's there.
Yeah, when we win, it's packed.
Yeah.
They're pushing for Big 12 right now, so hopefully they can get there. We're going to hopefully get some better recruits.
What do you think about
big boys
that?
league.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it'll be good for the school. For the players right now, I don't think it'll be good for them.
Yeah.
I feel like it would just be more of a I'm not gonna say they're going 1-11, but kids want to win, and we don't have the Big 12 players right now. Just like I want to say, I think UCLA and USC are going to the Big 10.
Big 10, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to take them some time, to get those players to transfer over. Because me playing the NFL now, I see, you got the SEC players in the locker room and Pac-12 and all those guys. Those guys are big.
Well, that's
So-
one thing Jalen said with the difference
Well,
was.
you're not small, bro.
No, you're not at all. But he mentioned that the difference isn't so much
250
that
running a 4.6.
wide receiver or
scary.
position guys. It's the men up front on both sides of the
definitely
ball.
the trenches. So I would say that's the biggest difference. Like one of my closest friends that I met, or he's my teammate now, which is Derek Brown, and he's a Pro Bowler and things and Brian Burns. They're both Pro Bowlers, and those guys are SEC, and you could just tell if we were playing this in college, he'll be a problem against us because they're bigger. But I feel like as time go on, Fresno State, if Coach Teffer's here, he's gonna do it right. He know how to find a quarterback. Obviously, he found Jake and Marcus McMarron and those guys, so they'll be all right.
I remember.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, your freshman year, I remember your first game was against Alabama at Alabama.
My second game, but my
Second game? Okay, yeah.
Get it
And
right, Caleb.
Man,
What kind of fan are you?
Yeah, he would tell me, he's like, I try to hit somebody as hard as I can, and they wouldn't move.
It was definitely Reuben Foster.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like I said,
What does that do to you, confidence-wise?
it's not. It's just more like, okay, now I know what I'm getting myself into. Me, I like all the challenges, so I'm gonna hit you, and if you don't fall, I'm gonna just keep coming back. But I would say just that game, like I said, I forgot we even played Alabama, but just watching that game from the sideline and seeing some of my freshmen like Ronnie Rivers and things like that, if you watch that tape, you could tell it's a big difference. They were moving us around, but like I said, I feel like Fresno State will be good, as time go on. But right now, I mean, it's going to happen, so it has to happen. But I think they'll be all right.
I think long term, it'll be good. It'll be great for them.
Absolutely.
It'll help maybe
Bring more
recruiting.
money.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And it starts in the
Absolutely.
trenches, just like what Jalen said. It starts in the trenches.
Get some new jerseys and some more. They got new helmets this year. I was kind of mad and salty about that, but it's okay.
Was it year after you?
Yeah, my last season, I got blue helmets for the first time ever.
Oh yeah, dude, I love them.
Oh, the blues are
the
sweet.
navy, that dark navy. Yeah, I like those helmets.
That was crazy. But
you came through kind of at a weird time because you had that COVID season, and then you guys had did they bang football 2020, or did you guys had a shortened
It was
season?
We
like
had
a six
like a
game.
6-game season.
well, so the SEC played all 12, and then I think more of the West Coast played 6 games. So
but there was
Pac-12
no
and
postseason. There was no bowl games, right? Or what?
for SEC it was a bowl game.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Just not everybody else.
Nah,
Right.
That preferential treatment shit. SEC
But
got to
I
play
mean,
a full
you had a
season.
good 21 too, or 21.
Yeah.
Your
That was my last season.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
And they moved you. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you
Moved
started
everywhere.
out. You were a safety when you came in,
Yes.
or a DB.
Yeah, safety.
Yeah. And then you went to linebacker, and then you went to DN. Right. I mean, that's a big transition, bro. In 5 years.
What did you like the most?
Yeah.
What position I like the
Yeah.
most? I get this question a lot.
Damn it.
Corny question, Jake.
Nah, it's not.
Hey,
even,
you
it's
know
not
what? The
that.
fucking door's over there, fool.
It's more of just it depends on what I don't know. That's a great question because I love safety. That's why I was a DB coming out of high school and stuff. I like guarding people, shutting people down. That was my I love to do that. And then playing linebacker was I like to hit people. So then it was fun doing that. And then playing DN, I say that was the biggest transition I ever played because I never did it before in my life. Going against tackles, it's pretty hard. But as time went on, I would say it was fun. That was probably the most fun I had playing football. So this is a hard question. So I'm trying to think. I would probably say linebacker just because you could do both. You could cover people, tackle people, go against tackles. But I lucky want to play DN again one more time. So.
I mean, you got.
I'm sure all of those positions require different kind of conditioning, but which one gassed you the most?
DN. I would say
Because
D-line.
it's physical
That's what
every snap.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Even though the yardages are
D-line
shorter,
is probably
it's just-
the most conditioned. D-line, O-line is probably the most conditioning thing on the football field. Other than, like, obviously, if, like, a DB and receiver run verticals all day, then they're going to get tired. But you go on, like, trying to run full speed and then going against a 300-pounder and turn around and do that play again.
Right.
Well, it seems like the DBs never get tired. I don't know how they do it. I'm exhausted watching those guys go,
Yeah.
especially late in the game.
Well, sometimes they don't run, like I said, verticals all day. Sometimes they could just, like, backpedal to be a run play.
Or they kind of know where the ball's going.
Yeah.
So
Sometimes, like, but playing D-tackle, DN, that was a rude awakening.
I bet.
we were
That's
talking about size, and I was thinking about this before I came here. You know, like baseball. Jesus Christ,
Size
Caleb,
matters.
really? Dude,
I
fucking
didn't
no,
say
it was you.
anything.
It was
I
you.
didn't say
These fat
anything.
jokes.
Sorry, we brought
Jesus.
him
Oh,
in.
think about
Let
that.
the
It's like-
adults talk here.
It's-
No, but in baseball, like kids can get drafted out of high school.
Yeah.
Right? Basketball, it used to be that way, not anymore.
They changed it back.
The one and done, I think now. But with football, you that doesn't happen. For good reason, because all I thought about was not many kids that get drafted for baseball to high school get right to the big leagues. But there's no way a high school kid in football, knowing what you know now, playing Division I football and in the NFL,
No.
a high school kid would be dead.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they'll be dead. I would just say the game of football, the speed is increasing. Players are getting better and they're getting faster. The only thing that would make a difference is, like, as a young kid in football, like, you got to know, like, how would you say it? I don't even know how you even put this in perspective. Like, say I'm at quarterback. Like, if you're a high school quarterback, those receivers or those corners are very, 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 very intelligent, and they, like, know, like that. Like, off of just, like, two-step, they know where the ball's going. So I would just say the game of speed is way quicker. You have to learn how to, like, disguise a lot of stuff like that. It's more of a
That's
mental
crazy.
game than
Well, maturity.
I'm saying- 'cause
too,
I was
would
thinking about-
imagine
Yeah, like-
the maturity level for an 18-year-old in comparison
Arch
to
Manning was
22,
like a
23-year-old
highly
man.
touted recruit,
yeah,
right?
Yes.
And that kid would wouldn't last. He would have gotten
definitely
smashed.
Didn't have a chance.
You know, it's like you have to go get those years in college to develop.
Absolutely. And I think personally, and you know firsthand, but that maturity level, you can just see it, and we've all coached different sports, but coaching an 18-year-old and then coaching a 22, 23-year-old, it's a big difference. You really get to see, like, when the immaturity comes in, I guess. You can really see it in that 18-year-old versus the 23-year-old man that now this is a career. This is your career now.
I was
This
just gonna
is
say
what
that.
you do for a living.
When you-
This
when
is
you
not
get there,
just schooling for you.
those grown men, they, like, that's their job. Like, that's how they provide for their kids. So they're not going away. Like, it's more of, like I said, it's a mental thing. Like, a 18-year-old might could get to the NFL and think, like, he could mess up. Like, it's all right. Like, it's not all right, because that person right behind you is eager to play, and that's his job. Like, he wants to provide for his family. He wants that contract extension, things like that. So, like, it's a big gap from football.
Right.
And it was kind of
Just for football, though. Basketball, I think you could do it just because it's basketball. Like, it's a long game.
and the court's not. I mean, not that the size of the field is different, but
It's more of an individual
yeah,
sport.
yeah. The skill set is at each position's not like football. And I just thought that was funny because in baseball you could draft an
that's a
18-year-old
great-
kid.
That's a great point.
And he could be. Bryce Harper didn't take long to get to the big leagues. It's just not often you see that, and I don't think. And maybe
I don't think they're trying to think if anybody could do that I know of.
Something we didn't ask
Yeah.
Jalen that I wish we would have,
Derrick
that I
Henry.
wanted to ask you is, it seems like from the outside looking in, Fresno State student athletes are very well prepared when it comes to the NFL. There's a lot of success. When you look at a mid-major school like Fresno State, you see some of these names like yourself that, coming from the smaller town or mid-sized town out of Sanger, goes to Fresno State. It's not that SEC school, but there's always successful kids coming out of Fresno State that have a good career in the NFL. Do you think that has to do with coaching? Is it... What do you think it is? Because we see a lot of these big names that have come out of Fresno State that do really well.
I would just say, like, it's really in all sports. You can go basketball, football, baseball. Really baseball right now.
Yeah.
They got probably the most pros in professional leagues. And I would just say, just because, like I said, like, we're we're not broke, but it's more of like a humbling moment that you come here and now you have to like basically get it out of not the mud, but like, yeah. So it's more of like when you get to that level, you know what your mentality has already changed. That I gotta win.
You're not used to the resources.
Yeah,
and
You got that chip on your shoulder.
the NIL is making it even worse now. So
I bet.
SEC, like a lot of I think it was just a player maybe a month ago it was LSU quarterback. He got his NIL deal. I think he made $10 million and he quit.
He quit.
He quit playing football. He's a quarterback for LSU, and that's how Jaden Daniels went there because he got them $10 million, and now like you're still in college,
Right?
And you already got $10 million, so now it's just there's no more hunger to keep playing the game.
so you sound like you're not necessarily for the NIL a little bit.
I wouldn't say I'm not for it. It's just more of like
It's not regulated.
it's taking a level away from the game for some players. Like the people that is getting their heads bigger than what it is. Like
we kind of talked about it on here, and we've had a few conversations where like if you're getting $250,000 for NIL, maybe you forego your scholarship to a player that could use the scholarship.
definitely.
Would you be for that? I mean, if you're getting $10 million, you could afford your school payment versus a kid that's walked on.
You can.
That maybe, I mean, college football's different because most of these kids are all on scholarship already.
Yeah.
No.
No? How many scholarships? It's got to be what? What's the roster size?
I don't even know the roster size.
I don't know the
but
scholarships. Do you know the scholarships?
I think traveling is like 50.
But how many scholarships can they give?
Scholarship wise?
I don't know how many scholarships, because I know baseball, they split 11.7 scholarships for 40 fucking kids, which is stupid.
That's crazy.
Yes, you got kids on a quarter percent scholarship for baseball.
Wow.
They split up 11.7 for 35 players. So really in baseball, there's nobody on full
I
scholarship.
never knew that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. See? And then football, it's NIL is getting crazy.
It's going to change.
getting
I'm telling you,
crazy.
it's going to change because the new NCAA president is the former governor of Massachusetts. And like 2 weeks ago, he made an announcement that he's going to take this whole NIL thing to like the government, Congress, and stuff like that, and see what they can do.
Oh, boy, it's
to fix
really
it.
gonna be
It's
bad.
Well,
gonna
yeah, and if
freaking
you're
change.
if
I'm
you're
telling
playing
you right now,
football
dude.
in California, you're paying the taxes here versus paying there's no state sales tax.
Well,
Florida.
how does
Texas,
that work for
Florida,
the
Texas,
NIL stuff?
New
Because like
Jersey.
in the NFL, you have to pay taxes for each state. or
Everywhere you
city.
play, you get
Every city.
So the NIL, it's I guess because you're staying here, you don't have to, and they're not paying
I don't know
per
how that
game.
works.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah,
That's a great question, actually. They
Thank
should
you.
get taxed like us.
yeah, exactly. See, I'm trying to help you out.
But California tax rate is crazy, so.
Well, that's why
that's why
when you went there to North Carolina, that's the first thing you had to do was change your address and make it permanent because California, you would have
Come
to pay
get
twice.
that money.
He'd have to pay
God.
until he made his residence permanent. He would have to pay California and Carolina.
Definitely when we played the Rams, that was probably the least amount I got paid for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that game. California.
It's crazy, dude.
It's terrible.
So we don't want to skip over the Dogs, but tell us just in general, like your experience playing for the Dogs and that program and what it means to you, and then we want to get into what you're doing now in Carolina.
I would say playing for the Dogs, it was great. I had Coach Teffer for 3 years, and then I had a coach's change. I would say my first 2 years was more of like a humbling learning moment. I had one NFL player above me, Juju Hughes, and then just playing that, went to a championship, got kicked out of that game for targeting the third play of the game. And then, I really got my, feet wet, or I would say got in the game and played more. And that was our bowl game against Arizona State, the Las Vegas Bowl. So that was more of like a, getting ready for it because a lot of guys are leaving. And then my junior year is when I changed position to linebacker. And then I would just say that year was probably, no, that's not my toughest year. It was very bad for us because we were losing every game by 3 points or less. And that's when we went 4-8.
Tight ones. Yeah.
And then I think COVID hit 2020. Yeah, 2020 was bad. I got surgery on my groin or both sides. And then that's when I would say that was probably my hardest year. Just, I had to prove myself again. Come off an injury, gain some weight. This is how I got to the end. I had gained some weight, and then it was more of like basically back to, like step one. I was thinking about transferring actually, and then it was more of like talked to my mom and things like that, and they was just like, you started, you got to finish it. So I had put that mindset in, and that's where.
It's
like
just
that.
rare to
Yeah,
hear that.
that doesn't
shit.
happen
like
very
that.
often.
100%, Bernsey.
But there was
Yeah.
a bunch of guys wanted, and wasn't it like a lot of guys wanted to transfer when you.
So what
when you
happened
wanted
was
to?
COVID. When COVID hit, after they gave them that year back, when our year get back, that's when the scholarships start coming into play because you only can give so many people a scholarship, and then you got an incoming class the next year. But they gave us a year back, so a lot of seniors stayed back. So now you have a lot of players on one team. So then scholarships start getting in place. So then people had to start transferring. They asked me to transfer. I told them I wasn't leaving. And then they said the only way you're going to be able to play here is if you got to play DN. And then I told them, I said, I'll play it for the spring. If I don't like it, I'm leaving. And then spring ball came, and it was fun. So,
Then you like
So
that.
how much,
And-
when you played DN, what'd you weigh?
Damn, personal questions.
Nah,
Well,
that-
he's a football
I was actually pretty
player.
light. I started off heavy. I was like, so after that COVID year, I was like 253.
Okay.
By the season start, I was 239.
Oh, wow. So you
So-
were, yeah.
Yeah.
And because of that,
Tall, big, but.
he led the nation.
And
He has a plaque in strip fumbles.
takeaways.
Oh, yeah,
Take
it's
it.
6.
Oh, really?
6, right?
Yep.
Wasn't it 6?
6, yeah.
It was 6.
Got a
It should have been
letter,
7,
got a
but-
letter, got a plaque.
Oh, that's
everything.
One of my
That was
teammates
good,
got
yeah.
a targeting call, so they took it away.
Well, I got it. So you end up going undrafted that your senior year. I mean, I guess, do you feel like because you had to play multiple positions and in the COVID year, do you think that affected any of that? Like, you didn't get an invite to the combine or anything like that? No?
Snubbed.
I was actually number 1 in snub on the list. If you got that, you could look like snub list 2021 combine. I am number 1.
Yeah.
But
But I mean, do you think having to move around so much and not having
actually,
film on?
it actually helped me from a lot of scouts.
Okay.
They said just by me playing a lot of positions,
Showed the
you bring a lot of
versatility.
a lot of versatility, a lot of value to our team. So now when I play for the Panthers, they got me at Mike, Will, DN, nickel. It'll be everywhere. But I would say that actually helped me. The reason I feel like I'm not even gonna say that's not why I got drafted. It was just more of I didn't have that much feeling at that position, and because I talked to our coach that had got fired, which is Matt Rule, and it was more of like we don't know how long you could play this position at the end because it's a new position. You only played it for 6 months or 7 months, so it's new to you, but you're doing good at it. So we're gonna bring you in and things like that undrafted. He said if I played it more, I probably have been way higher on a lot of people's draft boards. But I mean, it's all right. I'm okay with it. I love it. It's like I said, another underdog story.
Well,
but,
yeah, it seems
Yeah,
like you have that
exactly.
mentality to go out
Yeah.
and grind. And
so it's just
Well, you're learning not the different playbooks, but you have to play. There's different plays. Like you're just showing a little more versatility. You can adapt to pretty much any scenario. And there is value to that, I would think, especially when
Right.
you got one guy. Special teams is where a lot of guys
that preseason
find their way in.
2022. That was a rough. I wouldn't say it was rough. It was a lot for my brain. I had to play. I had to learn DN. Like it was one day. I think we were playing the Patriots. Actually, they literally our D line coach called me. Then I ain't practiced DN the whole summer, and they called me to the room and was like, "All right, here's the plays. I need you to study. We're gonna put you at DN. A couple 20 plays is tomorrow. So like, just try to figure it out." And I had to figure it out. I did it good. I mean,
It's
I did
that
pretty good.
Sanger to Fresno State. It's work ethic. It's your.
Right.
It's that work ethic.
well, and the
There's a lot to
mentality,
it.
it sounds like your
And
mom
he's stubborn as hell. That's
instilled
what makes
that
him
in
good
you
too.
too. Like you're going to finish this.
Got to
right?
finish it. You started. You
Yeah.
got to finish
Yeah.
it for sure.
Well, and you've been through some adversity, man. I mean, you had a coaching change at Fresno State, but last year as a rookie, you go
That was
through.
crazy.
Rule gets fired, right? You have an interim head coach. He's now with the Niners, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
He's a D coordinator there now.
DC and our DB.
you
DB
bring
coach.
in Frank Wright.
I don't really know too much about him, but I heard good things about him.
Not yet.
He's,
Well, but
he's
then
been
you had
in the league a long time.
Baker Mayfield. You lose your.
I was going to say
well,
that too. We had Baker,
But
Christian
the big
McCaffrey.
one,
And
though,
McCaffrey,
that's
yeah.
what I want to hit on is, so CMC's the face of that franchise for a long time. I mean, great player, went through some injuries and stuff, but how was the locker room when the McCaffrey news came out? Was it like, was it known or did you guys not really know what was going on?
We actually didn't know he was going to get traded. His name popped up on the timeline on Thursday night at so we're 3 hours ahead. So let me see, the game start about 9 o'clock. So I don't know. Some people didn't even know what happened to the next morning. But I was watching Thursday Night Football, so it popped up and like Christian McCaffrey's been traded. So then the next day, I wouldn't say like the locker room's going crazy, but it's just because it's a business. You never know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
One day he might be there, one day he might not. So it was more of like, okay, what's next? And then the next day when we had our interim coach, he basically just came and told us like, this is what's going to happen. He's going to take all the carries, which is it was actually good for us. I'm not gonna say in a good way, but like it kind of made teams. They didn't know where the ball was going. We traded Robbie Anderson.
Oh, that too. That,
that was sideline drama too. Son of a bitch.
We were at that game and I was like,
that's
what the
right.
hell's going on the sideline? And then we were talking afterwards. They're like, oh yeah, we thought he got injured from the stands. You thought he got injured, but then the next day, that's when everything came out.
On TV, it looked like he was on his way out.
No. It all started trickling down.
And
like,
you guys went on a little streak after that, right? You won
after all those trades, I think we lost like our next game, and then we went to Seattle, which is one of our biggest games. We beat them, and then we won like a 4-game win streak.
Yeah.
You had Foreman running the ball.
Yeah, he was like,
He had a
that's
couple
my
big
guy
games.
right there.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's my guy.
He was on my fantasy team.
That's crazy. He's on mine. He was on mine too. But
And Ricky, you were hanging out with Carroll, Matt. Is it Carroll, right?
Matt Corral?
Corral, yeah.
A little bit. I was more of with like Shaq.
Yeah.
So that's really he's from Sacramento and he's more of a Cali guy. So like we kind of stick together.
Yeah.
So like,
But then that
like
drama
messing
with him going on, that
he's coming back. He'll be back.
they're already throwing his name around to get traded.
He was going to, and then he did he reconstructed his contract, so he's coming back, and then so.
NFL
my guy
drama.
right there, though.
NFL drama.
Well, and so also too, like, you had practice squad, get activated, go to waivers, practice squad,
That's some.
get activated,
He's like, man.
just mentally.
That's what I was gonna
Go ahead.
for the guys that's going undrafted. You don't have to be undrafted. You could. I done seen some 6th rounders, 5th rounders get cut. Actually, my locker mate, which was a 3rd rounder, he got cut the 4th game of the season. He was at Iowa and then he went to a different team. But I would say it's not humbling. It's just like you don't know what's next because it's all above you. You ain't got nothing to do with it. You could be playing the best football ever, and then they would just be like, you get that call and you just go upstairs and they be like, okay, we're gonna cut you, but we're gonna bring you back. So it's just
when they go to cut you like that, they tell you, hey, you're going to get cut, but you're coming back.
If you clear waivers. So
how does all of that work?
You get 24 hours. Okay. So like once you get cut, you have to clear waivers, which is 24 hours. Within that 24 hours, any team can pick you up. So it's like it's not up to you. It's not up to the team that just cut you.
Okay.
Like if I get cut today, in the next 6 hours, the Ravens can come pick me up and no one can say nothing. Like they can't do nothing about it.
Okay.
So that's probably the most frustrating spot because sometimes like when I first got cut after season, I didn't want to leave. I had just got my apartment, things like that. I thought I was gonna make 53, and he was like, Matt Rule was like, you're the 55th guy, we're gonna bring you back. So just like be patient. We just hope you clear waivers. And when I got cut, I was doing my job in spring ball. So my agents was like, we don't know if you're gonna be there just because of what you're doing. Not spring ball, preseason. Like you were doing good, like you might not be there. So then that's why I'm like it's kind of frustrating, but it's just like where do I want to go,
right? And
things like that. But I end up going back. But I would say it's definitely like it's stressful, but it ain't stressful because sometimes like they would tell you like we're bringing you back, and then the end of the season they don't tell you to bring you back.
Okay, so that's when it's the
the end of the season. It's like okay, we're gonna cut you, or the season to be over, and they just like all right, like we'll be in touch, and then you just gotta wait around, and then they'll be like okay, we're assigning you to a future deal, and we're gonna redo your contract.
And you did sign that future deal in January, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're
thank you.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, you're
That's awesome.
couple weeks out, right?
But they kept a pulse on you. Carolina kept a pulse on you. They didn't let anybody penetrate in really.
Well, and that's what even through coaching changes, like
that's
got to say something, right? I mean, that's got to give you some confidence too, right?
Well, Coach Wilkes he's kind of like so his best friend is Coach Franklin, which is at Fresno State right now. He's the D-line coach. And they were both at Missouri. So when I first got there, he was probably the second coach that was like always, like I know you. He didn't know I didn't play for Coach Franklin, but he was like, "Oh, Coach Franklin told me about you. Like I'm gonna stay on you and things like that." So our connection was already kind of close. So when he got coaching job, he was just like, everyone's going to get an opportunity and things like that. And he just gave me the opportunity, you know, to keep showing what I could do. So, but shout out Coach Wilkes. That's a great guy.
Shout out.
Yeah.
So a question for me, as fans with the preseason, watching preseason games and everything, it's not always the most exciting thing, but for a guy in your position, what are preseason games like? What's the mentality? Because you're having to fight for a position and do all that. So
I would say very, very drink a lot of water.
Drink a lot of water?
Drink a lot of water because the vets are going to tell you, like, we're not playing today. We're not even going to dress out. So you might as well just get ready to get all the reps. So I would just say it's stressful, but like, okay, I got to make a play. But as the time, like, fatigue kicks in, like, badly. Like, when we played the Patriots, I played 62 snaps. I had the most snaps, actually, in the postseason. I mean, in preseason, out of everyone on the team.
Wow.
Yeah. And I would just say, like, fatigue kicks in for sure, and you don't want to make a mistake, but, like fatigue is a thing, and you're going to make a mistake. Like, you get tired. Like, It's impossible for you to play 72 snaps and not have fatigue. Like, I don't think there's one person ever to do that. And then you got to play special teams on top of that. So it's just like, that's your way if you're undrafted to make the team is through special teams. And then at the same time, you got to run down there, make a tackle,
and then go
turn around
defense.
and go play Mike and give all the calls.
Yeah.
It's very tiring. But I would just say, like, preseason, it's fun. It's more like you got the older guys cheering you on. It's more like
cool.
so like they're trying to give you like, oh, this is what he's going to do. You see the quarterback do this, go do that. And then you like trying to run. You hear him in the mic. It's a fun thing, but it's very tiring too.
Yeah.
Like very, and stressful too as well.
Well, yeah, because you're trying to make the team.
Trying to make the team at the same time.
And
You got the head coach yelling at you, miss a play.
Yeah.
Like, it's just preseason, like relax.
Right.
Yeah.
They trying to evaluate you, so
Yeah.
it's very stressful. But I mean, me personally, I think I'm ready for year 2 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what to expect.
Right.
It's very tiring, but I'm ready for it.
Do you think you're going to get into that defensive side? Are you going to get some reps this year? Have you talked with Coach Reich?
I have talked to the DC, which is he was at the Broncos, which is one of the teams that offered me to go there through the undrafted phase. You know, you get offered teams, you get to pick what team you want to go to, and they were one of the teams that offered me, and that's just because my linebacker coach, when I was here 2018, 19, and 17, he was their linebacker coach at the Broncos, and now he's with us at Carolina. He's our safeties coach, which is Burt Watts, and I would say he's supposedly that he's giving a good name for me or whatever. So we're going to see, but you never know. Like I said, I could be a number 2 today, and then they could go sign a veteran that's been in the league for 13 years, and they got to pay him because they're going to pay him. Like, they got to play him because they're paying him. So,
well, I would imagine it takes a lot of patience, man. Like, you see some guys that have, go down your path and they don't really see any real activity till year 4, year 5, and those first 3-4 years are trying, man. I mean, it's a mental.
It's a mental game for sure. So that's why, like, if you're not, I'm not gonna say you're not. Like, some people do play when they're like drafted round 6 and things like that, but like, if you're not that type of guy, it's very, very mental game. But like I said, time, you never know. Somebody can get hurt, God forbid they get hurt, or things like that. Like, your time's coming. So
yeah,
you got to prepare like the next man that's playing right now today, because you never know when it's your turn.
And that's when every time we do workouts with any of the kids, I always tell them character's a big thing.
Well, and I think that's why and I'm sure it happens a lot more than we think, just as fans looking in, like, to hear that you've got multiple coaches now at Fresno State speak on your behalf, to take you under their name, like, put your name out there, like, it's just crazy. Like, relationships matter.
No,
like,
definitely.
not burning bridges matter. Like, not transferring it might have been one of the biggest decisions you made.
No, facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just never know what's going to happen in the future. That's crazy to me. That's how kind of it worked out. I do want to ask you this. Earlier, you mentioned the DeMar Hamlin situation. Like, that was, did you see it live?
I saw it live.
I watched it. I was actually bowling, and they had it on the TV.
So, like,
I didn't know he was going through that. I thought it was just like he got injured. Okay.
Right. Like, come that night, or they canceled that game, and even that week, like, it was just weird. I mean, it felt weird for the couple days, just as a player, knowing what you're putting your body through every week, and even in practice. Like, how do you guys take that? When you saw that, like, what does that do mentally? I mean, because you can't let up. Your guys' instincts don't allow you to let up.
I I would say just don't think about it. If you start thinking about it, then you're gonna be like,
I shouldn't ask that question then. My bad.
no. Not saying like I'm saying like while you're on the football field, like
you're still here.
You're playing.
because now you're gonna be like not soft, but you're gonna
Gun
be
shy.
Well, when you're playing, you'll play tighter, right?
Yeah,
and then
basically,
you'll
you're
get
gonna be
hurt.
scared like to not hurt yourself. You don't play to not get hurt. You play, and then if you get hurt, it's just part of what happens in a football game.
Right.
So, that's actually a hard question because it's a lot of people that like didn't play. There's a lot of people that didn't practice because they wanted to see what was happening for him, and hopefully he was getting better. But me, I couldn't do that. I'm undrafted, so you can't stand.
You got to take any and every opportunity.
Every opportunity. But just as in getting like making those tackles and things like that, I would feel it's just a freak accident. You never know when that's gonna happen. It could be like Ryan Shazier's incident. He barely even hit the guy, and he became paralyzed.
Yeah, you have those freak
Well,
moments.
yeah, and then you see Ryan Clark lighting people up after the day
so
and not
it's
getting
just
hurt.
you never know. So, but I would say don't go into the game thinking about that because you're gonna tighten up and you're gonna play scared, and that's when you actually do get hurt.
Yeah,
I mean,
more of a chance.
It seems like they don't. It seems like they don't mess around with head injury, trauma. Like,
now for quarterbacks,
what about for linebackers?
He might be like the face of concussions right now.
Yeah. No, you're not kidding. We've talked about. I mean,
had a long discussion about that too.
Yeah. So
I wonder if that's going to affect the hiring of now the team doctors. Right away he was fired. Multiple guys were fired, and I wonder if they're going to have a higher standard. And then if they're going to
just
get
hired
way
by
more
the NFL
stuff.
and take away the team doctor when it comes to concussion protocol.
Mm-hmm.
the concussion protocol got way harder now, just
Oh,
because of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
And I
after the
think it's somebody
incident?
else. Somebody else had got it, and they let him play, and he got hurt again.
Well, you know what's crazy, and we brought this up because now in today's game, but when we were growing up, Steve Young had a concussion every other weekend. And he played every
I'm sure a lot of
game,
guys
dude.
did.
He played every
Brett
game,
Favre
but it was like
claims he had 1,000.
I'm sure.
That's what he
Yeah,
says.
I mean,
I had a couple in college, and I kept playing.
Man, I had 8 in high
I
school.
ain't gonna say
I just
I'm
kept-
sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, every football player has had concussions and kept playing.
Mm-hmm.
But now they regulate it a lot more. So is it harder
And-
to skirt that?
I would say now the NFL players, they're wanting more money. So that's why you have players sitting out. You have players like Lamar that's wanting more guaranteed money because they're getting there's a lot of more injuries happening, and then the concussion protocol is happening more. So now
It's that guarantee.
well, and
money
with a guy
that
like,
gets
and
higher.
we've talked about his contract a little bit. With a guy like that, and I guess I get it, like wanting some more guaranteed money because they're asking him to honestly play a little bit more than quarterback. Like he runs the ball a lot. Like
not a little
Debo,
more.
like when Debo was going out.
right,
more
running
money.
back, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Well, listen, I'm doing 3 jobs here, and you want to pay me for 1."
Yep.
So that makes
Definitely.
sense.
So the guaranteed money situation, DeMar Hamlin made another push for, or not made a push, but like he's another situation where players are wanting guaranteed money because for his perspective, if he would have, he got cleared to play, but if he can never play the game again, he would have made like $750K,
It's crazy.
and that would have been it. But like now they're trying to guarantee him more for when you get hurt or coming in as a drafted player, you could get like 10 or whatever, $13 million guaranteed just in case you get hurt. You could have some money to, rely on. But
I know there was a minute where some college guys would, running backs. Well, that Mark Lattimore, when he broke his leg in South Carolina, I mean, he was going to be one of the top running backs. And thank God he had an insurance policy, though.
how did he break his leg again?
Just running the ball, he got hit. And, I mean, it was so
It was in a
gross.
game or was
yeah,
it-
it was. It was in a game.
I thought it was during like
I mean, and it
the
just.
pro draft.
It was.
Didn't Fournette do the
His
same
legs
thing?
don't do that.
Didn't Fournette LSU get
I don't remember.
broke his collarbone or something like that? And he was
that's why he
doing
wears the purple pads.
2 yards.
Still.
Yeah. That's Douglas. I sold him, and Brett Favre, same thing. He wore his. You could see. You could tell. They trust their shoulder pads.
Yeah, Douglas inside his helmet.
Yeah, dude.
Dougie
So
Fresh.
so he wouldn't get concussions, bro.
I don't know what type of shoulder pads I got anymore. Douglas, I ain't
That transition though from Fresno State into the NFL, was it a big shock for you? Or I mean, I'm sure the game is way faster, but just the overall environment of being
I was
in
shocked
the NFL.
to be there. Like just being in the situations that I went through in college, it was a shocking at first. Like like, oh, I see this player like Christian McCaffrey. Seen him, I'm like it's kind of crazy. And then I got to like, as time going, you get used to it. But I don't know. I prepared for this my whole life, so I wouldn't say like it was kind of normal at some point. Like now, it's very normal. But when I first got there, yeah, it was a shock for sure. Like seeing Christian McCaffrey, a guy that you play Madden on, and and stuff like that, it's kind of crazy. But then like you just see like his work ethic, and you try to learn from him, and it's different. But his work ethic is definitely top, maybe number one. Things I see that dude do is crazy. I think they just posted like on Twitter, like
he was running all over TikTok,
but it was like
too.
He was doing like track workouts.
Yeah.
And they were like, this dude's crazy. I think his body fat is like 2%.
Oh my gosh.
And he's all over TikTok right now, and all the little drills that he does like some speed walking where his legs are completely straight and just walks on his heels.
That's one of them. That's a track
yeah.
workout.
And he looks just,
what does it
he's
do
like this,
for
like
you?
a robot out of
Do you know?
It's like he's making his hamstring muscle memory. So every time like when he's running, it's like a faster like
twitch.
Basically.
Okay.
If you look through it, it's like crazy.
No,
it's
he's
like,
crazy.
Yeah,
He's
And
definitely
who
good,
did that?
so.
Who else did that? They did the from the Steelers, Harrison. He had some crazy workouts with like catching weights.
No, James Harrison.
James Harrison.
yeah.
He would like catch weights, work out with bands.
That guy would do some Rocky type shit.
Oh.
Out there
He's like
carrying
pushing
logs.
eight plates and stuff. Like,
And they would drop weights from the squat rack and just drop it, and he would catch it. Or he would throw the weights in the air, then catch it. And dude, that
would kill
stuff
me.
was crazy.
I would die.
What he would do.
Even the bar, if I just did that with the bar, I'd probably drop it.
We asked some interesting questions here on Watch Your Lips. We've had some interesting debates over the last year doing the podcast. One we had related to baseball, and it works with football. So it was, you can only pick one. Mm-hmm. Okay, would you rather have a Super Bowl, or would you rather get to the Hall of Fame? You can only have one. You can't have both.
Hall of Fame as in football, right?
Yeah,
Or get a Super Bowl.
or win a Super Bowl.
So Dan Marino or win a Super Bowl.
So just so to help you out for baseball, we were
Definitely
talking.
win a Super Bowl.
Okay, Super Bowl. I said Hall of Fame. I think for baseball. I think you said World Series.
I said World
You
Series.
said World Series.
Definitely win a Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just because that Super Bowl might be more memorable than the Hall of Fame. Like, as in kids that's growing up, if that makes sense. Like, they can go and watch them Super Bowl highlights.
Well, they don't put themselves in a moment of
people-
it's three. It's bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded, the World Series. It's not you're not practicing your Hall of Fame speech as a 13-year-old.
Yeah.
But I look at it this way: it's a team sport. If you're good enough and you're on Super Bowl champion teams, there's going to be elite athletes throughout that process. You're probably going to get in the Hall of Fame.
But not all of them do.
I know that. We know, Jake. We don't need to bring them up.
That's the point.
Okay. We know.
I'm saying that's the point, though. That's the point.
Let's
of the
not
question.
talk about Marino right now.
Who y'all like for baseball?
Well, I'm a Giants fan.
I'm an Astros fan.
Atlanta Braves.
Who do you like?
I'm a Dodgers fan.
Oh,
My son's a Dodgers fan.
So
I
we won't
actually just went to Dodger game 2 days ago.
Oh, really? How was it?
They lost. Yeah,
You made it back, so that's good.
Yeah,
Going to
he hit
Dodger Stadium, you never know.
They were playing Diamondbacks. I don't know who it was. He hit a 2-run homer in the game.
Oh, okay.
Top of the eighth, and then they couldn't score again.
so when do you got to get back to Carolina? What's the time frame?
We start Monday, so I'm leaving Saturday.
The 10th I saw was it was right.
Okay.
So voluntary isn't voluntary.
It is,
But
Not
it's
for
not.
you.
I mean, so year one is not voluntary. So like they're like when you get there, they're gonna be like, okay, like the rookies, like it's voluntary, but it's not. Like it's hard to explain. If you didn't play more than certain snaps, like you should be there, but it is voluntary. You don't get fined. You don't get none of that. Like you actually don't have to be there, but you should be there.
But the coach
You
has
won't
his
be
notepad. He's like, most people in here.
I mean,
He didn't show up on the 10th.
I don't know how these coaches are going to be, but the last coaches I had, like, they didn't really care. Like, it's voluntary. Like, you don't do, like, plays and stuff just because you don't have the whole team there because it's voluntary. A lot of players be gone. Quarterbacks might, like, none of your quarterbacks might not be there. So you don't run, like, team 7-on-7, stuff like that. It's just more of, like, workouts or you do, like, maybe some indie drills maybe or stuff like that. But other than that,
You probably have more at your exposure when you're there too, right?
Well, yeah, it's a new
if you're
regime,
working
like,
out,
it's-
they
Get familiar with who's there now.
Yeah.
Like it's
What percentage of the team you would say that goes to those workouts? Like 75%, 80%?
Well, so when I got there for my rookie year, because I ain't did this one yet, so I can't tell you. But from what I did, the OTA number 2, I want to say it was about 80%. Like, I want to say Christian wasn't there, Sam wasn't there, Robbie for sure wasn't there, DJ was there. Like Brian Burns, he might have came here and there. Like they'll come in and out, but most of the time, like it's just like your star main player. They'll come in and out, but other than that, the regular players will be there. So,
well, I can't believe none of these guys are brought it up. You got the number 1 overall draft pick. You traded up for it. Carolina traded up for it. You think they're going to use it on a quarterback? You got Bryce Young and Stroud. You do have Dalton. You got Dalton.
You got the Red Rocket.
You got the Red Rocket now.
The Red Rocket.
You got Miles Sanders.
From what I think they're gonna do, I'm gonna say what I think. This is what I think. I think they're gonna trade down and get more for the first round pick and go for CJ Stroud. That's all I can say.
Okay.
That's all I could say.
You heard it here first.
Watch breaking news.
Hey, back to your Twitter account. Because Jeff's like, you got to go look at his Twitter account. And for you watching or listening, go check out his Twitter account.
I do a lot of tweeting.
February 26th, 2023 is the date of the tweet. Wish I was born in a different time. This generation is so whack.
That's just from a song. But
Damn.
But do you agree with it?
yes. Just because I'm gonna put it in a movie perspective, just because I watch a lot of movies and stuff like that. Like,
Love it.
just like I think they're trying to make Rush Hour 4, and if you actually watch the Rush Hour, how would you say it, like the script and things like that, they can't do none of that in this generation now, just because of what goes on in the world now, which is, I mean, it happens and things like that. So I just wish I was born back in the day, because it was more of a
little more loose.
Yeah, it was more lenient.
It was a vibe.
Like,
It was a vibe.
Yeah,
Even Jennifer Aniston has come out and said, like, comedy, it can't be what it used to be.
It's not what it is no more. You can't even crack a joke about anything without, like, just for the Avatar movie that just made, they had just got sued by the Polynesian culture just because of them putting
The Maori.
the tattoos and stuff like that. So it's just like, it's just different. Like, I mean, nothing wrong with it. I mean, it is what it is, but I just wish I was born back in the day. So
like all of us. Is that back? What is back in the day to you? How far back?
Yeah, because we're old. Old. I don't mind telling you, we're all 40-year-olds.
90s for sure.
Okay.
90s best.
So, with being born in the 90s or born in the 80s and
He was born in the 90s.
I am 1999.
Yeah.
I barely made it. But
would you rather be raised?
80s for sure, and watch like that whole 90s, 2000s, like the beginning of that. Those movies are probably better than what's coming. Like the comedy for those movies are way better than that.
All right, tough question, man. Top 5 movies. Your top 5 movies, any genre, doesn't matter. Any order. We've done all that.
I mean, you don't sound easily offended, so I'm kind of interested in this list.
Number 1. Actually, I'm gonna go for 5 to 1.
He's going in order. I like it.
Top 5 movies. This is hard. I'm gonna just give it just because I like superheroes. So I'm gonna go Avengers. Maybe I think it's Endgame. I might put that at number 5. Number 4. Oh, this is pretty hard.
Yeah, right.
You don't have to put them in order.
Hey, you got a favorite movie? You just anytime.
I love all
on,
the Rush Hours. That's definitely in there.
All right.
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker is one of.
He was Friday, right? He was on
First Friday, yeah.
Smokey.
Yeah,
He might be better than
Miss Parker.
right.
That's a great debate
Miss
too.
Parker?
Between Mike Epps and
Mike Epps is pretty funny, man.
Miss
I'm with you.
that's a hard one right there. Like
Miss Parker.
What does he say?
Parker.
You can let me fuck.
Miss Parker.
What'd you say,
So-
baby? Huh?
this is hard.
What you say?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with. I don't know if I could put a Friday in there. They cool. They just. I think they're played out. So
What about like football? You got any football genres, movies? There's not a. I mean,
Let's go genre then.
Remember
Is that
the
easy?
Titans.
Genre? What's your comedy?
movie.
What's your
Yeah.
drama? What's
I just feel like those movies just like I don't know. They're just corny to me.
Hey, okay,
Yeah.
Blindside. How about Blindside?
corny.
It's not corny. It's a great movie. Like they're great movies, but I'm just not a football.
You don't need the story.
Creed is a great. Actually, I'm gonna give Rocky's in there. Actually,
Attaboy.
Rocky. I probably give 4 or 3.
Okay.
There it is.
Ooh,
Russia.
Clubber Lang, I think,
clever.
is 3, right?
yeah.
Rubber Lane. Mr. T.
I'm gonna go with 4. I'm gonna go with 4.
4.
There we go. Drago.
Yeah.
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies.
Okay, I'm so far. I'm with you.
Creed might be in there. I love Creed. I don't know if y'all seen the last one.
Oh, yeah. I haven't seen
seen
3
the last
yet.
one.
But
talked
we're
about
going
that
to
with
because
Jalen.
Jalen mentioned 3.
Yeah, Creed 3 is fire.
2's it's gonna be tough to beat 2.
I just don't like. I'm not going to. Oh yeah, y'all probably know. I didn't like how they didn't put Rocky in Creed 3, but he wasn't with the storyline, so that's
Right.
why he didn't do it because it went off storyline. But Creed 4, he said he's coming back, so we're gonna see. But this is pretty hard. I watch a lot of movies. I watch like older movies like Life.
Great movie.
Let me think of all these older movies.
cornbread.
Temptations.
Goodwill
Yeah,
Hunting. You ever seen that? You like?
I like
that?
Denzel Washington. Say that again.
Goodwill Hunting. That's a
I don't know
good
if I've
one.
seen that one.
With Matt Damon.
Don't.
Rounders.
Stupid.
No, it's great. It's an amazing movie.
I like actors too. So
Yeah.
like Denzel, Mark Wahlberg.
yeah.
I'm kind of mad he retired, but it is
Training
what
Day?
it is. Let me think of all these people.
Training Day. Good movie.
Training Day was a really good movie.
You got a little older spirit to you, bro.
I just watched a lot of.
I like it.
Ace Ventura,
Leonardo-
Dumb and Dumber.
Leonardo DiCaprio. I'm
Okay.
watching,
Yeah.
he's pretty good. The Great Gatsby's up there too. I actually
Okay.
just watched that yesterday. It's crazy. But I watched.
How about
So-
Denzel's son? Do you like him as an actor? Denzel Washington's son. He was on.
He has a son?
Yeah, and he was in the recent movie. What?
Tenet?
Yes, Tenet.
Yeah.
Is that his son?
I haven't seen
That's
it.
his
Well,
son.
I'm a fan
He's-
of Christopher Nolan, so that's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I like watching
Inception.
Ice Cube's son. I don't know if I've
Okay.
seen
I
it.
haven't seen him.
yeah.
He's
Well, he
in,
was in the NWA movie. He's
Okay, yeah.
He's
I
in
know.
when they robbed the banks. I can't. Den of Thieves.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thieves. He's on Cocaine.
He's
Bear.
on Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Have you seen that? Anybody?
I haven't seen it. They said it's based on a true story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they said that's like it's better than what everyone's talking about.
Yeah, that's what
Everyone
I've heard.
thinks
Everybody's saying
'cause
it's
the
corny.
trailers, yeah, everyone's
Yeah.
saying it's like dumb, but then when people watch it, like, oh, this is better than what we thought, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it yet.
But no, I watch a lot of movies though.
Yeah.
I go every Tuesday.
Oh, you might.
Every
You
Tuesday.
probably see
Every
my son
Tuesday.
there. He's
You
always
gonna go
there.
watch Air on Wednesday?
I might. I'm not really a fan of that movie, how they're trying to make it, but it is what it is. I'm gonna go watch it though.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Well, so
I was gonna
again-
go watch Brady.
Oh, the ladies.
Brady 80.
Yeah,
The
but-
Brady bunch.
It's on HBO's HBO Plus or Max
Max.
or whatever.
HBO
Yeah.
Max.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm going to Super Mario Brothers this week.
Well, we are too.
I'm excited.
Actually, my
got a new movie
youngest wants to
Wednesday,
go
I
watch
think.
it.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Isn't Chris
Is it
Pratt the
I
Super
don't know,
Mario?
but I'm
I
Yeah.
think he's the voice of Super Mario.
Jack Black is Bowser. Charlie Day is
might be tight.
Toad.
Yeah.
I haven't seen none of John Wick.
So
That's why I just said.
You said
Oh,
you're
yeah, there you go.
a superhero fan.
Yeah,
Who's your favorite superhero?
I got 2. I'm gonna just say 2: Captain America and Thor. Actually, Thor's number 1.
No,
You got a hammer? Do you have a hammer?
I want one. That's,
You don't have the mallet?
Thor
bro?
is tight.
You could throw out the question like if you had a superpower, what would it be?
Well, I mean, you can. Go ahead and ask that, Caleb. Go ahead.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
What would it be?
You're asking me to ask a question. You just asked
No,
on the
you
fucking
guys. No,
thing.
I'm saying is you guys have talked about it, right?
Yeah, on Bromigos we did.
I don't have a
we talk
superpower I
about
want
it
to be,
here.
but if I wanted to be someone, I want to be Thanos.
If you could have any superpower,
Yeah.
like be
Gauntlet,
invisible,
but
fly,
you can't have the gauntlet though,
Why not?
because that's a weapon. That's not it. But
That's part of him.
But but not
That's
necessarily.
him.
Multiple people have worn the gauntlet with the gems. What?
Who? Except for Iron Man.
Okay, you got
But he made it.
Adam Warlock. Adam Warlock wore it. A couple other I can't think right now, but at least 4 or 5 people have worn the
And what
Infinity
movie?
Gauntlet.
What movie
It's
is this?
comic books, bro.
Oh gosh,
Ain't
you're a
got there yet.
nerd.
That's
That's what I'm
why.
saying, dude. I'm
Dude,
just
way to
saying, bro.
kill the vibe.
I'm
like,
just saying,
you know what?
bro.
Sit-
Okay, Caleb,
That's
never
more of a
ask any
weapon.
more questions.
Hey,
all right?
questions
That's
in writing.
a part of the weapons.
God.
It's a part of the weapons.
So that counts as a weapon?
Hey, if you
Yes,
do that
it's a
again,
weapon.
bring your power glove.
Yeah, dude. I will. I'll bring the glove too.
Yeah.
Are you-
That's what I mean. The power glove. The weasel.
Do you watch UFC or anything like that?
I'm more of a boxer.
Oh,
I watch
really?
more boxing, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really watch, like, I'll watch it, but, like, I'm not really a fan. I don't know everyone about UFC.
Right.
Boxing, I could do that.
That's
So
funny.
that story, who sent that? You?
Yeah.
Was it the WWE?
It's being acquired by
Or
UFC.
is being acquired, or is the WWE acquiring?
No, UFC ownership is going to take over 51% of
So
WWE.
we grew up in that WWE, WWF.
Nah, I used to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Then who was your guy? We weren't sure.
Undertaker.
Oh, I like it.
Ooh, did you guys see
He likes
WrestleMania
boxing.
this past
He's
weekend?
I didn't see it. It was kind of weak.
Old soul.
It was
old soul.
stupid. Dude.
What movie?
Dude,
No, WrestleMania. It just
I don't
happened.
watch
Over
wrestling.
the weekend, yeah, I did.
Oh,
I only watch real sports.
And we were watching the main event. It was stupid. This guy's in like regular clothes and just all that like Undertaker.
They had like Snoop Dogg there.
Logan Paul, I think,
they had
was in
Uzi
there.
Vert.
Yeah,
there,
Uzi Vert came
But just
out.
like all their characters and their
Wasn't
outfits.
Kittle there? Wasn't George Kittle there?
I don't know.
I
He
can see
wasn't
that.
there.
He
He
wants
was
to be.
with
The NFL actually, or not the NFL, they're actually like
Pat McAfee.
connected to WWE. So when you
Really?
once you declare for the draft, they actually send you an email. The WWE sends you an email and be like, we don't acquire. We have an opportunity for you to try out, and it's free. Really? The NFL pays for it.
Huh.
So I know a lot
Damn.
of people that actually do the tryout.
You going to do it?
No.
Well, you do see a lot of that crossover.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
See a
when
lot of
we
that
talk about.
The Rock
it was
was
Brock
Kittle.
Lesnar.
Yeah, Kittle was with Pat McAfee.
Yeah, he was with Theo Vaughn
and
talking
Pat
about it,
McAfee
too.
just like is now going to be a part of WWE now.
Yeah.
He just signed a contract or something like that to be like an.
And The
actual
Rock did
wrestler.
it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
Gronk
There's
did it like a
Bobby
show.
Lashley. There's a lot of people that played in the field and went to the. It's like a little. I don't know what they have like a connection. I don't know, but they give you a free opportunity to try out.
So if you were a boxer, what weight class would you be in? Would you cut a lot?
He said
what?
between
I'll definitely
238
cut.
Would you be
and
righty or
245.
lefty?
Against Tyson
Solid
Fury.
power.
No,
No.
I'm not going against Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
So
But.
there's no buts.
No, but.
I'm 6'2". He's like 6'7".
But did you watch the fight with Wilder? The first one.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a 10 count, bro. And I like Tyson. You can't argue that. You can't argue that there was a 10 count in there that didn't get to 10.
So for boxing, it can get to 10, but when they ask you, can you fight? If you say yeah, they will let you keep going.
And I'm a Tyson Fury fan. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they do that last check. Like,
Yeah.
you're good.
I mean, it was about
They
a
let him
20-second 9 count. This is what I'm saying. That's what I saw. I was like,
One.
yeah, you
No, definitely.
So
crazy
you're going
person.
like light heavyweight? Is that what it would be?
No, I'm gonna go like
Middleweight?
yeah.
What is that
I
in
cut
boxing?
about like 175.
Have you ever trained? Have you ever trained any?
I did it long time ago in high school. I haven't did it since. I actually want to try again. It's very tiring though, but I haven't did it since high school. I'm just a huge fan.
Who's in middleweight?
The champion.
Yeah.
What's his name? He just beat up. He just called out Canelo.
Ramirez.
No, Benavidez. Or he just beat up Plant yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jose Ramirez
was like
just
a week
called
or two.
out Canelo too
Is that the guy
at
from
the
here?
Celent Arena. I mean, no. Sorry, Samurai Center.
Samurai Center. Yeah. I don't know. He shouldn't.
He is.
shouldn't
He's
call him
local.
out.
He's not there.
boy.
The other one that Jeff had, and maybe we can wrap it up with this, but
Huge boxing fan.
your Twitter, I'm telling y'all, go look at the Twitter. Laker fan.
Huge. Let me take that back. Take that out.
I'm
a
not
huge
taking
fan.
it out.
Not a huge fan. I'm a LeBron fan. But go ahead.
Oh,
Go ahead, Jeff.
so
I'll let
that
you
leads
take.
into
I'll let you take this.
No, go.
Okay. We know where this is going. Then
Go ahead.
you just declared.
Well, calm your lips. Let's do a calm your lips.
There we go.
You said you're a Lakers fan.
So calm your lips.
I'm a Bron fan.
If you disagree, you say calm your lips, and if you agree, you just tell us.
So I got this. Kobe Bryant is a better player than LeBron James.
Calm your lips.
Okay, why?
Just because it depends what you like. What aspect are you saying as a better basketball player? If you're talking about just the game of basketball, LeBron's mastered the game of basketball. If you're talking about a better scorer, that's debatable. Just because LeBron's the number one scorer in the NBA history, but Kobe was a great dominant scorer.
Okay, all right. So now I'm trying to get a feel. So Michael Jordan is a better basketball player than LeBron James.
That's debatable. I will give
It
you
is.
that debate.
It is.
I'm not going to give you the
Not the
Kobe
Kobe.
debate.
Okay, all right.
And that's just because you could say just because Michael Jordan is 6 for 6, you can't take that from him. And then his work ethic. That's pretty much it. We're not even gonna go further. Like LeBron hasn't been rebounds, he hasn't been assists.
I like it.
But the
only
game's
thing
a little
like it.
softer now too, right? For LeBron to be able to dominate.
But Ari Spears, I don't know if you've seen his clip. You know who Ari Spears is? He's a comedian.
Probably I gotta see him.
Yeah.
Hey, turn hit where the blue slider is. Slide that up. Slide the slider up. Not all the way, bro. Thanks. I'm not trying to lose our hearing.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
LeBron, how you feel about him passing up Kareem this year as the all-time leading scorer in the NBA?
Listen, if he sticks around even longer, he'll pass up every fucking thing. I love when people try to say, I get it. I'm a LeBron fan. People think I'm not. I am. I recognize his greatness. But he ain't MJ. He's not fucking with MJ. And it's like, people like to sit there and go, well, he's past this and this record and this record. Yeah, he's been in the game since high school. No breaks. Like Jordan, 2 years off for baseball. No breaks. Jordan quitting when he didn't want to quit the second time around, but the Jerrys broke up the fucking team. LeBron has been in it since high school with no breaks. And as long as he continues to stay around, he's going to pass every fucking record. He's been around long enough.
When people do compare the two, right, LeBron and Jordan, they always point out their finals record. They say LeBron he was 4-6 in the finals, and Jordan he was 6-0 in the finals. Do you think that matters when comparing the two?
Yes,
definitely.
Yes.
Listen, this to me is a testament to this moist era we live in. 4-6 is a losing record. What are we celebrating? Mediocrity? Let me ask you a question.
All right.
Wait. I need him here right now. I would just say.
No, go ahead. It's like a 5-minute clip, but I'll send you the clip. You can watch more of it later.
I actually seen that. The talent that LeBron played against, except for the Dallas Mavericks team, is way harder than Michael Jordan's team that he played against.
Your opinion.
Your
opinion?
That Warriors team might be the best basketball team that ever played the game of basketball. They went 73-9. Then they grabbed Kevin Durant.
So would you agree?
I like where Mosby. You're coming back, but you're going to have to come back.
Would you agree that it's probably more fair to do or rank these guys or to say that by era?
Definitely.
Does Tom Brady?
That way we're all right here. We're all right here.
Real quick. Kobe Bryant, Kobe Bryant is not considered a great no more just because a lot of people say he copied someone. And you can't be a great at something if you copy someone's whole game. Foot to foot, like head to toe. He copied everything Michael Jordan did. And LeBron is more of they're comparing him to Michael Jordan and not Kobe because LeBron played a whole different position and he's done way more than, I'm not saying done way more than Kobe, but Kobe's actually played 20 years too. We're not going to say that.
No, I agree. You're right. That's true. That is true.
But it's just more of like the things that LeBron's doing. He wanted to 10 final appearance, and Bill Russell was the only person ever else to do it. But it's just more of like he's here, like statistic wise, his appearance. He plays a whole different position and whatever. And then you got Michael Jordan with people who like they feared him. He went 6-0. He also left the game, came back, like things like that. You can't really stop that. So those two that's a great debate. I would just say I'm a LeBron fan. It's my era. I ain't really get to see Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say because you brought up the era with Tom Brady. Is he just as dominant? Don't answer this, Caleb.
All right.
Don't answer this. In that 80s, that late 80s, early 90s, is he just as dominant? Does he have 7 championship rings if he's going against the Joe Montanas, Dan Marino, John Elway, Jim Kelly? Is he as elite?
Yeah.
You think so? I don't know. He can't move.
I feel like football.
He never has
different.
moved well.
I can't even come. I'm not even gonna say nothing about this one. That was hard.
I can't. He can relate. I can't. I'm saying yes because look who he played against to get the 7 he's got.
And
at 44 years
this
old.
is where
He's
Mosby's
played for
point
4
makes
decades.
sense here. That's why I'm bringing it up.
I mean, he's beat some
Because
other good quarterbacks, other good
the game's
defenses.
faster. Guys are faster in today's game than they were. It's proven.
I mean, how old is he when they beat the Rams?
It was,
Probably
And that was one of the
38.
best defenses in the game that year.
well, that's what I'm saying is the game has evolved into like where LeBron's playing now.
LeBron's played in 3 different
Although,
eras.
although
Just
the
going to say
official.
that.
And Brady was in two and a half.
Okay, but you brought this up a lot all year about the officiating. The officiating back there was probably you could probably get away with more in that era than you do now.
Andre Rison
Like
and
Tom
Dion
Brady-
are,
As in
are
what?
fighting.
As in
and don't
getting
get
away
beat
with-
up.
Like defensive wise or offensive wise?
Defensively, you could be
Oh,
more
definitely.
aggressive then than you can
go
now.
after the
Definitely. I
quarterback.
should have played in that era.
Yes. Look at what Lawrence Taylor did.
Yeah.
in that era.
He ended
All you got to
careers.
do is watch one
Yeah.
tape.
Ended careers.
We got a rushing the passer just by even leaning on Tom Brady.
That's got to be so hard to like. To
No,
know,
now
nowadays.
getting sacks in the NFL is very, very hard. There's a lot of people that hit people and let them go and they stay up.
Yeah.
So, but that's a great. I've never heard that comparison, and that is a great one. 7 rings back in the day.
Yeah,
Lawrence Taylor. Oh my God.
I mean, it's something that intrigues me.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
playing in that era, that's what I'm saying with the
I won't-
officiating.
look,
he may not have made it that long.
I understand that, but what I'm saying, even as a Dolphin fan, like I hate Tom Brady. I respect him. I do respect him. I think I highly respect
kind of
him.
have to, bro.
I love it.
But I don't think he wins 7.
Yeah.
I just don't.
You didn't say that. You said as dominant.
I didn't even know he had 7. I thought he had 6. Oh my God.
I don't think he's as dominant
to
or
another
wins
team.
7.
Okay. Still won.
That's
I
that's
think
fine. That's your opinion.
Does he win 4? Yeah.
I think he does. I mean,
He probably thinks he wins more.
No,
Hey,
no,
bro, if
no,
he
no,
got
no.
on the Patriots
Me
in the
not being-
90s, he ain't winning shit.
Honestly, well,
Just so you know.
I mean, but leave me being Tom Brady and Patriots fan out of it. I think he still wins as many back in the day because, yeah, you have those dominant rushers. He can adjust to any part of the game. He can get it out quick. He can go down the line.
I'll give you
Does
that
he have Bill
because
Belichick? Yes or no?
Yeah.
But he did it with the.
He does have Bill Belichick?
But he did it with
In your scenario,
the
does he?
Buccaneers.
I mean, I
too.
guess
He did, but
And he went in the next year. He was done. He went to the league
that
championship?
Buccaneers team was very loaded, like very loaded.
yes.
But Bill Belichick needs Tom Brady. So,
Yeah.
Bill Belichick needs Tom Brady.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Yeah.
but
Well, Mosby, we got to get you
Yeah, we
back,
gotta do it
man.
again.
When you're
I know.
in town,
This is
we
fun.
This is
would
great.
love to have
I
you
love
again. This was awesome.
Yeah,
We
no.
could talk all day.
Absolutely.
Talk about gaming next time. How Apex
Oh yeah.
is way
Well,
lower
what I
than
did like was
Call
that
of
when we
Duty.
brought
I
up
can't wait.
Jalen talking about being a
I still
gamer.
got, y'all on the rest. Let me see what time it is. I can do the gaming real quick.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just saying. I wanted to
Follow
point
me on
out
Twitch.
that you kind of laughed a little bit when we talked about Jalen being a gamer. I just kind of.
I wouldn't say he's not a gamer because if he was right here, he gonna say he beat me in Madden and stuff like that.
You did have.
Madden
I
is
asked
kinda
about
cheating.
KD though.
So going into like shooting games, I do play Call of Duty, Apex. I'm really heavy on Apex right now, and I don't know if anybody out play that Apex, which is it's more of a high speed shooting game, but you have like it's kind of like not like Halo, but it's more of like it's a battle royale game, and it's more of just like how do you put it?
It's a lot more strategy because you have characters and abilities.
Yeah.
Those characters and abilities you have to work within your team.
Yeah.
So you can use
It's
each other's
definitely-
abilities, and that's what makes it. But on the gun, it's everyone's on the same playing field because you only get a certain amount of attachments and stuff like that. That's it. Where Call of Duty, you can
keep
there's
upgrading it.
200 different. You can have one
a lot
gun
of stuff.
and have 200 different varieties of that gun.
So
Because
yeah,
of
so it's like
Hanna-Barbera.
battle royale basically, like
yeah.
Fortnite, but it's more of like your team has different abilities and y'all have to work together. And then what also makes it better than Call of Duty right now, which is it has more streams than Call of Duty right now, is because it's more of it has a ranked platform, and in that ranked platform you play against people that basically you're
kind of on the
skill level.
same caliber.
Yeah, so like
yeah.
the higher you get ranked, the more people you're gonna play. I haven't got to like master. That's all like the YouTuber and all them people.
Yeah.
But it's just more of strategizing like the circles. I don't know if y'all ever played battle royale games, but
No.
when the circle gets about this big, it'll be like 14 squads left. So now it's it's 14 different teams in a small area.
It gets chaotic.
It gets very chaotic. So
You said you Twitch stream it?
I do Twitch and stream. I haven't did it recently in the last 3 months because all my equipment is back in Carolina. So I haven't really been like, I could do it on my phone, but it ain't the same when I have like a camera and my stuff set up.
Where do they check that out?
Yeah.
On my, I think, I don't know, I gotta remember my Twitch.
Hey, have Burns
It might be the
tell
same, but it might not.
Burns tell them where they follow you.
It might be the same thing at Take Flight Mo. So it might be the same thing.
What'd you say?
At Take, so TAK, and then the 3, or the E is a 3, so TAK 3, and then Flight as in FLIGHT, and then Mo, MO.
Okay. My son will be watching it probably.
Yeah, we're gonna have to circle.
I go back on Monday, so
All right.
I'm gonna lock you in.
What
for sure.
platform do you play on?
Xbox, but I did have PS5. I sold it because at the time I had it when it first dropped. I think it was like in COVID, and then no one really had it, like my friends, because it was so expensive. It was like $800.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So then I had sold it, and then I don't know. I might get another one. I lucky want to try PC though.
I was
Yeah, that's
about
what I was
to ask you,
gonna
are
ask.
you going to jump to the PC?
Isn't Apex easier on a PC or no?
All games are
All
easy on
games.
All of
PC.
them
All
are.
games.
I
Especially
actually
when you
want
have
to
the
do
mouse.
the Grand Theft Auto.
That's what Jalen was talking about too. It's crazy.
That's the #1 stream game in the world right now. And
On
Grand
PC.
Theft Auto's
I had
been out
no
for
clue
like-
about
on
it either,
PC.
dude.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto's been out for 10
Fascinating.
years, and that's literally #1. It's just like they literally made a whole new game. So
From
it's
the
like,
original. Okay.
so it's just like a remade game, like model. Yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
There's a whole bunch like AD. That's why he be getting hurt. But nah, definitely want to try PC. It's kind of harder though, so
Yeah.
it's gonna take me a minute.
Yeah, it's way more expensive though. That's the only thing. Because not only does your computer is like $5,000, your monitor costs probably another $800-900.
Well, none of them play with one monitor. They have multiple
They have, like,
monitors.
two.
Yeah.
Yeah, too. Yeah. In order to, dude, they're stupid expensive.
I'm gonna have to set this up
Stupid
here.
expensive.
Yeah, we just need to get a little gaming studio.
Hey,
To get a decent one, it's
I
like
have an
Got
extra
you right there in
Xbox
the.
Let's go.
at home.
to get a decent one, it's like
There's a lot of
$7,000.
players on our football team that.
Yeah, my son.
I
has
bet
a
it gets
PC.
pretty
He is.
competitive.
crazy.
Than that.
I don't know how much.
Well,
he
our
knows.
locker
He
room,
bought it.
they play more Madden stuff like that. I mean, you would have like guys that do like Call of Duty, Apex, but like JC Horn, he's a very, 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 very competitive Madden player.
Oh, I used to play some Madden.
Nah,
back
he's
in the- like when it was
definitely number one.
the
Has any-
original
Have any
online.
controllers been thrown? Because that was an old.
Oh gosh,
That's
yeah.
an old school move.
Rage.
In the
Rage
early
quit.
90s.
It was throwing controllers across the
throwing-
room.
Yeah,
Breaking a
chucking them at
TV.
each other.
Nah, I don't think they break
Okay.
controllers.
My
That one is
brother would
$75
punch
a
holes in the
pop,
wall.
dude.
Yeah,
$75 for a controller.
but I mean, you
Are you
had them
asking-
where you could wrap them around.
I don't care. I done broke a couple controllers.
Yeah.
I probably,
For sure.
since I've been in the league,
But I'm saying we used to hit each other.
Yeah.
With them.
nah, I'm
Like,
talking
I mean,
about
you got
just
that
on my
competitive.
streaming playing the game. I probably broke like 7 controllers.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
That game be, man.
Video
Yeah,
games
yeah.
can
Started.
get you there like no other.
That's one of the
It's that
things.
stress
That's the
level.
#1 thing in the order right now, streaming on Twitch.
Yeah, that's
It's
all my
crazy,
boys
yeah.
watch is that
crazy.
crap.
Twitch, yeah.
Or just streaming of video games,
Anything.
even
Oh,
on
I
YouTube.
watch it, yeah. On
I'm like,
YouTube, every day.
I don't get it.
And
Every day.
TikTok.
I don't know.
A lot of people are using TikTok to use the stream as well.
Yeah.
That's where I see it.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I've seen.
Burns is afraid of China, so he won't get on.
Yeah,
TikTok.
no TikTok for me.
No.
No TikTok. They're
watching
after
us.
you.
They're watching us.
listening.
They're outside in the
Hey,
parking lot
they're
waiting for us to
listening
come
right
out.
now.
Taking our
now.
strategies and using
Your
it to
phone
their
has
military
it.
defenses.
Your phone, those balloons, they're TikTok
And then
balloons.
then he takes his tinfoil hat off.
Yeah.
And
I don't take that off. It's on under here.
How much shit talking for real in the NFL?
As in like playing in the actual game or
You
talking
versus
about
them?
video game?
No, on the field
It depends who you play. Like we play Jalen Ramsey,
is on.
you're gonna get it for sure. He coming to the sideline. I like that type of stuff. Me personally, that motivates me. Like okay, but not really. I mean, it's, like I said, it depends on who you play. Like we play Jalen Ramsey, Myles Garrett a little bit. He's more of just a intimidator.
Yeah, big ass.
He's a
boy,
big
dude.
dude. I mean,
He's not that big though, to be honest. His other Davion Clowney is way bigger than him, which is kind of
Really?
it kind of shocked me. Like Myles Garrett is more of like stockier than him.
Yeah, he's
but
got those
height-wise,
arms.
Jadavion Clowney is like 6'7". I can see why he did
and
that.
some of these dudes do a
Yeah.
lot of research on you personally. Like they would do.
No,
just
definitely.
to, like,
I'm trying to think who else we had. Like the rivalry games is always like the Falcons, the Bucks a little bit, not really. They're more of like I said, they were losing too this year, and like they had a lot of stuff going on with Tom Brady and stuff like that. So it was more quiet.
Giselle.
The Saints, they talk a lot of crap.
Do they?
Yeah, I'm ready for that game again. Yeah.
DC
And they
this
got
year?
DC over there. Yeah. So and then the Buccaneers got Baker Mayfield. So he talks a lot of crap.
He runs. Yeah,
He's number one.
He ran his mouth at Oklahoma all the time.
How was he in the locker room? Were you?
He has
around
that
him?
same swagger.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of cool to me. Like I said, I like
Yeah,
it.
you like it.
You got that, But he talks a lot, especially like in camp. Yeah, that was my number one guy right there. I picked him off actually. A couple
Yeah, and he chased him down.
Let him know.
Yeah,
Had
I
him
take him
dead,
down in
he
practice.
had him dead to rights, and all of a sudden he peeked over at that thing and he goes, and then
You
see,
like sign my ball, bitch.
Say it.
Nah, but
yeah, he goes, he got scared of.
Jalen Ramsey's number one by far. He could do it though. He on the Dolphins now, so
Yes,
y'all
sir.
finna get that swagger Friday.
Oh, here we go. 2 hour. We gotta wrap it up.
Are you ready?
We gotta
He's
wrap
gonna
it
talk
up.
about the Dolphins.
No, we gotta wrap.
This is about Mosby.
We'll sit here and
all
talk
about the Panthers
Dolphins
today.
for days for this
All
guy.
about those Panthers.
If you're a real
on to,
Dolphin fan, you have the Zonka bullhorn right there on that helmet. I'm just saying, dude.
Well, I didn't buy it.
Oh,
It was a 35-year-old.
I thought you listened, bro. Thought you were a fan.
I watched.
Son of a bitch.
But Mosby, thank you, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
This was awesome, man.
Hey, and he's talked about possibly getting into a podcast space. So
More of like food, but more of like steakhouses.
let's do it. I'm excited. If you do it, let us know.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
And,
guys.
be sure you follow the Panthers. Good luck, man.
Thank you
Stay
guys.
healthy.
Yeah,
Thank you
have a
guys.
good year.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's exciting to talk to you guys. Burns, where do they go follow again, real quick?
Oh, we're doing this on Instagram and Twitter at Watcher_lips.
he messes us up.
Usually
every time.
we tease him with it, but
I haven't messed it up in like days.
Hey, best of luck to you.
days.
Best of luck to you too, brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Best of luck to
And,
you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Burns, watch your lips.
And go Dodgers.
Oh,